Alright, this is Zhao. The Zhao build on this account, this is my friend T-Vex's account, and this Zhao is probably one of the best builds on the account. The overall outlook on this Zhao is 63% crit rate, 138% crit damage, 2800 attack, and 160% ER. And then we only have 15% animo damage bonus. Now, this is due to not having a particularly good animo damage cup. So, we've got attack percent cup, crit damage hat, attack percent timepiece, then a feather, and a flower. Artifacts aren't the best. Zhao is quite good. Talent levels are only 888, and it is C0 Zhao. Due to having the Primordial Jade Winged Spear, he's definitely one of the better builds on the account. Ganyu. Easily the second best build on this account after Xiao. Let's see what she can do. Ganyu. Now, Ganyu's build, she has, okay, she doesn't actually have 3200 attack. Give this Amispo a chance. Okay, not Amispo, sorry. There we go. So she has 2600 attack and only 22% crit rate, but that's not true. And 151% crit damage. Now, it's not true because she has a Blizzard Strayer set. Now we have an attack percent hat with some crit rate and some crit damage. We have a really good cryo damage bonus goblet from the Bloodstained set. We have an attack percent timepiece. We have a feather, which has 25% attack stop stat. And we have a pretty decent flower. We are using an R5 prototype crescent, and it does attack increase by 72% for 10 seconds when you hit a weak point. Talent levels are 8, 6, 7. Nothing is crowned on this account yet, but I suspect Yoimiya or Ganyu will be the first to be crowned. Yoimiya. Almost certainly the third best build on this account. Also, the account's owner, T-Vex's favorite. Let's see what she can do. Look at her shred that boss. Now, I believe that she is worse than Ganyu because Ganyu is more to my playstyle. Now, Yoimiya has 2359 attack, 65% crit rate, and almost 190% crit damage. She has very little energy recharge, but she doesn't need much. Our weapon is an R1 Skyward Harp at level 90, so that's where she's getting that crit rate from. And then we have a crit damage hat, a pyro damage bonus goblet, and an attack percent timepiece with some good amount of crit rate on it. We have a feather that's very good, and a very good flower as well. She's using the 4-piece Shimenawa's Reminiscence set in order to buff up her normal attacks. Her talents are all level 8. She is Constellation level 0. The next best build on this account is probably Klee. Let's see what she can do. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of Klee. Alright. Now, this Klee build has 2366 attack, no elemental mastery at all. We have 57% crit rate and 120% crit damage. Really high power damage bonus. No no energy recharge either. We have Skyward Atlas, level 80 as the weapon. Artifacts are a plus 16 attack percent timepiece with 21%, with almost 22% crit damage substat. We've got a power damage bonus goblet from the Burning Witch set. We've got a crit rate hat from the Burning Witch set with 21.8% crit damage substat. We've got a feather from the Burning Witch set, which is very good. And we've got a mediocre flower from the Burning Witch set. Talents are 777, Constellation 1. Now, I didn't use her Constellation 1 in this demonstration because, at least not on purpose, because I do not know how to use it properly. After Klee comes Tartaglia in terms of how good the different builds on this account are. So, let's demonstrate. Boom! There we go. So this is the Tartaglia build. Get out of Bennett's circle so it's not. There we go. So, we've got 2458 attack. We have 70% crit rate and 150% crit damage. We have 90% hydro damage. This is using the Skyward Harp. The reason I say that this build is after Klee and not much before her is because usually this build uses the Rust, because Yoimiya is often using Skyward Harp. Now, using a 4-piece Heart of Death set with a very good timepiece, a very good feather, a very good, well, not very good, but a quite good flower. We have quite a good hat, minus the defense rolls, and a pretty decent goblet as well. Constellation Tartaglia is C2. And talents are 999. Now, when given the Rust, Tartaglia has, let's see, 200 less attack and much less crit rate and crit damage, making him worse than Klee. But when using the Skyward Harp, he is far better. However, Yoimiya benefits from Skyward Harp more than Tartaglia does. At least, in this case. Next to the build that's honestly a bit hard to place is Diluc. Now, let's see how he does against our friend. Ult. Now, as you can see, he does a large amount of damage with his normal attacks. So the thing is that right now, the reason I'm not showing his stats right now is I'm waiting for the arrows to wear off, because he's currently got a buff. There we go. Now, without any stat increases, he's got 76% crit rate, 120% crit damage. He's using the Skyward Spine. Now, a lot of the time, I would actually have him using the Serpent Spine, but I actually swapped him over to the Skyward Spine because it's now leveled up, as opposed to when it previously wasn't. When he uses the Serpent Spine, he has a 101% crit rate, and only 100-something% crit damage, because we usually use him on this crit rate hat. Now, he has this crit rate hat, which has 21.8% crit damage. He has this power damage goblet. A lot of this stuff is the same stuff you saw from Klee earlier, because Klee does not always use this set. This is the set that Diluc usually ends up using, because Klee doesn't need the same amount of support he does. Now, this Diluc is Constellation 3, which is quite impressive, honestly. He has 7, 10, 8 talents, and his power damage bonus is 61.6, and he has no physical. He has 133% energy recharge. Next up is Eula. Arguably, the next 3 or so characters could be interchangeable for how good they are in terms of their builds. Now, for a Eula build, not necessarily amazing. However, it's not the worst. See how she does. Ult. Oh right, I forgot that Bennett is C6. Oh no. So, 105 damage, half-charged ult. That wasn't the best demonstration because I forgot this Bennett was Constellation 6. Let's find another test subject. We're back with a new test subject. In order to prevent Eula from having any sort of disadvantage compared to the others, I'm giving her access to Raiden so that she may get Superconduct. Alright. See what she can do. And swap, blow it up. Ah, unfortunate. Still, one of the faster clears so far. Now, see her build. Well, I messed that one up. It wasn't Eula's fault at all. Eula has 60% crit rate, 120% crit damage. She has very little energy recharge, but she has 120% physical damage bonus. She's using an R5 level 90 Snow Tomb Star Silver, and her artifacts are 4-piece Pale Flame with an attack percent timepiece, which rolled into way too much elemental mastery, a very good physical damage bonus goblet, which rolled tons of crit rate, a crit rate hat with 18% crit damage. We have a flower here, which rolled unfortunately, and a feather, which also rolled unfortunately. Her talents are level 777, and her constellation is 0. While the artifacts themselves are not very good, for the most part, she still manages to keep up very well with the rest of the builds on this account. The next build that's a little bit hard to place, but probably on the lower end of them, is Kaching. Now, let's see what she can do. This one's probably going to be a bit on the slower end. Because I can't use Bennett, because this is a physical damage Kaching. And even if it were electro damage Kaching, I believe that Bennett's override overrides Kaching's override. Oh boy. And then there, and then we'll just do this. It's nothing fantastic, but it's definitely nothing bad. Alright. Kaching's stats are 2000 attack. She has 43% crit rate, but after she uses her ultimate ability, she gets an additional 15% crit rate. And she has 120% crit damage. She has 83% physical damage bonus. She's got an R5 Lion's Roar at level 80. Her artifacts are 2-piece Gladiator, 2-piece Bloodstained Chivalry. She has a very strong flower, a very good feather with 10% crit rate. She's using this timepiece for the time being because we're currently looking for a better timepiece for her. She has a physical damage bonus goblet from the Gladiator set, and a crit rate hat from the Gladiator set. She is Constellation 0, and her talents are 5, 6, 6. So definitely on the lower end of the ones that are a bit hard to place, but she's also very reliable. This next character is Raiden. Personally, I believe she may be a little bit worse than the other ones that came just previous to her, but we'll see. Okay, then we'll ult. And because, honestly, a Lover Troll isn't that good of representation, it dies way too fast with all the supports on. We're going to continue. Just with her a little bit. And then we're going to fight this Ruin Guard. Now, we probably won't be getting full resolution stacks against it. Okay. And go. 72k. Next test, we see how her autos scale up. Probably with like no support, just because of the nature of what I've been doing. Like, her autos inside of her ult, because that is how she is built. Alright. The only support I will be using will be Bennett. We shall not be testing against the Electro Assassin Mage because that one has resistance to Electro. Okay, 1 E Q. Yeah. Compared to her, at least compared to her potential, she is not particularly strong at the moment. However, let's go over her stats. She has 1500 attack at the moment, and a little bit of elemental mastery. She has 56% crit rate and 75% crit damage. She has 270% energy recharge and 114% electro damage bonus. Her weapon is an R5 The Catch, which is very strong. Her artifact, she has a 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate with an electro damage bonus goblet, a crit rate hat, an energy recharge timepiece, a feather, and a flower. This flower is particularly good, and it's only at plus 16 at the moment. Now that you've seen all these characters separately, let's try putting them together. But first, let's take a look at the supports that have carried us through this whole thing. First we have Kaedahara Kazuha. He's got 1400 attack and 325 elemental mastery. He's got 60% crit rate and 90% crit damage. He has 150% energy recharge. And he's got 61.6% anemo damage bonus. His weapon is an R3 level 90 Iron Sting, and he has a 4-piece Viridescent set with an anemo damage bonus goblet, an energy recharge timepiece, an attack percent feather, a feather with pretty good crit rate, 13.6, and a flower with very good crit stats as well. And he's using a crit rate hat. Next is Bennett. This is not the best Bennett. Oh, by the way, talents 878, well 778, and then constellations C0. Now Bennett C6, talents 7, 9, 11. 6, 9, 11. Now, stats 20% crit rate, 80% crit damage, 187% crit energy recharge, and 31.5% physical damage bonus because he's using the prototype Rancor. His artifacts, he's using a 4-piece noblesse set with a feather, a flower, an energy recharge timepiece, an attack percent goblet, and an attack percent hat. Not much. But he's Bennett. Now let's put him together. I'm going to run several teams in several different scenarios. Just show off what this account can do when it's all put together, instead of just showcasing individual DPS characters. Alright. Oh. And just like that, no damage taken. 4 Ruin Guards fight completed, no damage taken, using Tartaglia, Ganyu, Kazuha, and Bennett. Very quick. Second scenario, second team. Pale Flame Domain. And Yoimiya. "21 seconds. It says clear time 55, it means 21 seconds. Now, this team is honestly a little bit absurd. And Yoimiya's probably the strongest DPS on this account. However, I would say that she is not the best build because she has a long way to go before she's perfect, unlike some of the others. Welcome to the Storm Terror fight. This team is also incredibly powerful. Alright. There we go. Okay, and then boom. No crit, sadly. However, this team really does just destroy any boss pretty much. Well, at least Storm Terror and the Wolf get destroyed. The child fight has too many phases. I haven't tried it against Sigara yet. Oh ho, what's this? How lucky. Well, that feels like a great place to end the video. This was a lot of fun to make, and I might, if you guys enjoy this, make another video detailing a few more teams on this account that I use. I only detailed, I believe, 3, which were probably the 3 strongest teams for those situations. However, I have a few other teams on this account that I would love to show, but because of the self-imposed time limit I'm giving myself on this video, I would like to keep it to 3. Let me know if you want a dedicated video to some specific team comps, or even just team comps in general, or just with specific characters. I have a lot to say, and this account has a lot that I can use to offer that. Anyways, that'll be it from me. Bye!